Law of attraction versus law of assumption. So, what are the differences? And let's talk about it. So, law of attraction basically states that when you have a desire, you just have to put it out there and believe that you will attract it to you. So, in other words, you believe that the universe will attract it to you. So you are actually, giving your power away, and you are depending on the universe to bring you that desire. Now, it obviously does work sometimes, because otherwise people would not talk about it. And that's how I actually started in my manifestation journey. I started with The Secret, the Law of Attraction, and I had a lot of success, and I also had a lot of, failures as well. Because sometimes, I'll depend on the universe, and I'm like, yo, man, what's wrong with the universe? Why is it taking so long? And all that. And that would, cause just unnecessary stress, anxiety, depression, because you always have to wait on the universe to actually bring it to you, you know. And however, then I got introduced to Neville Goddard. So Neville Goddard teaches the law of assumption. So what is the law of assumption? The law of assumption states that when you have a desire, all that is required from you is just to assume or accept that you have it right now. So for example, if your desire is to manifest $1,000, all you need to do is just assume that the $1,000 is already in your bank account, but you assume it in your imagination. So when you accept it in your imagination and you remain faithful to this new story, and then your 3D reality, your outer reality, will then reflect what's in your mind, in your imagination, the 4D. So now, can you see how empowering the law of assumption is versus the law of attraction? Because the law of assumption states that, hey, all you need to do is just accept that you have it now, remain faithful to this new acceptance, this new assumption, this new story, and then your 3D reality, meaning your bank account, will then reflect what's in your mind. So you don't have to do anything to manifest your desires when you use the law of assumption. Your job is just to assume that you have it now. You only do stuff in the 3D if you are inspired. And inspired action is not something that you have to figure out in your mind, but inspired action comes from, your heart or your gut feeling. You'll know when it's inspired because you won't even think about it. You just, do it. And then afterwards, after you've done whatever that was, and you're like, oh, that's why I was supposed to do it, because it actually led me to the manifestation. But that is just when it's inspired, right? Because remember, Neville Goddard tells us that you do not have to lift a finger to make it so. So if you accept that you have the $1,000 right now, you don't have to lift a finger to make it so. You don't have to Google on how to make $1,000. You don't have to call a friend. You don't have to do anything. Your job is just to accept that it's already in your bank account right now. So in other words, you have to see it or feel it or sense it, or just accept that you have the $1,000 in your imagination. So you do not have to be delusional and look at your bank account and like, yeah, I've got 1,000. No. You just have to see it in your imagination, because remember, your imagination is consciousness, and consciousness is the only reality. So in other words, the real world is in your mind, it's in your imagination, it's the 4D, it's consciousness. That's the real world. The world that we're perceiving right now with our eyes is just a reflection. It's a reflection, so it's just a mirror, right? So let me know what you guys prefer. Do you prefer the law of attraction which is you have to give your power away to the universe and depend on the universe. And sometimes if the universe is in a good mood, it will probably give it to you. If it's not in a good mood, you're probably gonna have to wait long, you know. But however, with the law of assumption, you have the power, because the law of assumption states that everything is already within you. All your desires are already within you. Your job is just to accept that you have it now. And the moment you accept that you have it now, you then allowing the universe or God or consciousness or awareness to arrange the environment, conditions, and people to bring the $1,000 to you. So what do you prefer? Law of assumption or law of attraction? Let me know.